Welcome everyone to the series of recordings regarding Masaaki Imai's legacy. Today I have with me John Verhees. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
So today, John, I want to be talking to you about Masaaki Imai and how he impacted your life. So I will start by a basic question, which is, what is your best memory of Masaaki Imai?
My best memory is a long time ago. I think I met him during my studies for the first time. I was at a company for a project, and he was hired by this company to support them. So it was by accident, to be honest. And I heard about him because of the books and the things we were taught during in the university. But then I was able to meet him in person, and it was a remarkable experience because you have a vision, you expect something, and then you meet a person in life. The second time is when I was part of the Kaizen Institute, and he came to the Netherlands to visit our clients for the first time. And the most remarkable moment was that he was introduced to one of our clients or clients-to-be. It was a very formal visit, and we were expecting a lot of people. And when we went to the company, he was, to my opinion, I was a little bit shocked because they were presenting many slides and information and data. And Mr. Imai said, after 5 minutes, he said, "Okay, let's stop, because let's go to Gemba." So that was also, I will never forget the phrase. I will never forget the expression on the face of all the people from the company, from our client, our current client. They were a little bit shocked, but at the same time, it was the essence of who Mr. Imai was. And going back to my first encounter with him, it was the same simplicity, keep things very simple, back to the core, and being an authentic person, expressing this feeling in the way he acts and who he is. That was a remarkable experience for myself, and one I will never forget.
So you've been, let's say, from the very beginning, when you met Imai, having a lot of experiences throughout the time, I guess, with him, in personal and professional life, right? So let me ask you how he impacted your professional life before and after you met him.
Before I met him, of course, you think you know everything about Kaizen, lean, change management, process improvement, continuous improvement. But after meeting Mr. Imai, you really understand what is meant by Gemba Kaizen, and what is meant by his books and what he wrote. So, and this is only because you are able, and he came to the Netherlands and also to Germany and other European countries and other meetings where I met him, because I was able to spend a lot of time, many days with him, traveling from one client to the other, from one meeting to the other. So, especially in those times in between, you can really experience who this person is, and that the Kaizen philosophy is really originated by him, and who he is and how he lives and how he thinks and how he talks about people with a lot of respect, very people focused, and also, once again, keep it very simple, go back to the core, go to the shop floor, talk to the people, engage with the people, and do real root cause problem solving. Those were all the moments I was able to experience this, not just in a speech or in a lecture or during a congress. By the way, and maybe it's a secret, most of the time he always had the same speech over all those years. So, and this is not because he didn't have a better speech, but because rehearsing the same message all over again, that is what I encounter during all those years. So meeting him once is not enough. You have to meet him several times to really understand what he meant and what it means to if you are an engineer or you study in the university, you think things are very complex and you need complex solutions to solve complex problems. But he taught me you can have very simple solutions and going back to the basics to solve very complex problems, because we try to overcomplicate things as well. And that was a big change in my life, going back to the core, back to the basics, keeping things very simple, especially nowadays when we are in a digital era, when there is many evolution is a revolution, so it's going very fast, but still basic problems can be solved with basic root causes and analysis and nice solutions.
So actually you mentioned that right a moment ago, that you've met him in several times or several occasions. Can you recall actually how many times you've been with him?
I think he came to the Netherlands at least 4 times, and then each time it is multiple days because we organize a trip. I remember Mr. Imai traveled a lot, maybe 4 to 6 months a year, together with Noriko. So his wife always was with him, accompanying him, supporting him. Very important for Mr. Imai to have her with him. And you could also see them as a couple doing all those travels, making all those visits. So I met him several times, I think about maybe 6, 7 times, multiple days. And then of course during all those days the most remarkable things is inviting him to our office with the consultants, but also organizing round tables, going to customers or potential customers or relationships we have in the business, especially them, those events, going to the shop floor, talking to the people who really add the value. That was for me those were for me the most remarkable moments, because I think at that time he was really showing who he was and expressing what is meant by the books he wrote and the experience he had back in Japan and all what he has experienced before. And then that was the moment in time when you understand, okay, this is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. So in those visits that you just mentioned, is there any type of sentence, word? You mentioned keep it simple. He repeated this several times. But there is any sentence that you remember with clarity from all those years with him?
Yeah, I think the most important sentence is actually what I already told you in the beginning is let's go to Gemba. And it was a very large multinational company. You know them, they have a lot of data, a lot of information, they can make PowerPoints without an end, very high-end quality. But at the same time, after a few minutes, he said, okay, let's go to Gemba, because that's where I can see what's really happening. And if you're doing Kaizen in the right way, if you really involve the people, if you're really focused on solving the right problems first, and if you're really able to solve them at the same time. So let's go to Gemba was one sentence. The other sentence is also, we were at another client in one factory, and they had a long running program called Flow, create one-piece flow in the factory. And after his visit, after 2 hours, he came back, and there was a huge room with many people, and they wanted to hear his output, his opinion, his assessment of the situation. And he started his speech with, I don't see any flow at all. So, and they have been working with many people for many years.
It's harsh message, to be honest.
Yeah, so those were also moments in time for me which I will never forget as a person, because you want to develop the client and you want to make a very good impression. And we bring Mr. Imai, we bring the writer of the books, we bring the authenticity of Japan coming to you, and then the first message he said is, okay, I don't see any flow at all. So I think, okay, that was my client, let's go to the next one. So he is an authentic person. Also, he's not into politics. He was very open, very clear in how he stated things, very simple. I also remember we once were invited to the executive committee of a large multinational company in the Netherlands, in the headquarters, and they gave him a situation with many factories all over the world, many different value streams and whatever, and matrix organization. And then they asked him a question, and his question was, I don't understand what you ask. You have overcomplicated things. Mm-hmm. What do you really want? What is your problem? So, and then everybody was total silence. So those moments in time I will never forget. But we also have moments in time when we drove from one location to the other. And I remember that he likes to go, together with Noriko, he likes to go to restaurants, he likes to eat, he likes to taste, he likes to understand the local culture. But he also liked a lot to stop at a gas station and eat a very simple hot dog. That was his favorite dish when going to the Netherlands. And not into one fancy restaurant. And because even when he was traveling 6 months a year.
It's like a taste of the local culture, gastronomy.
Yes.
He wanted to understand kind of what is happening in the country, right?
Yeah. And what is different here, and how can I experience this, and is it good or not? So he will always try some things. Mm-hmm. I also remember that normally during all those visits, he was also with the team of consultants. He could also have a very clear statement, so not go with the flow, not say nice words or encourage people only to be there or whatever, but it was always about the purity of the philosophy. Mm-hmm. Being the father of continuous improvement, he also wanted it to be done in a pure way. And if people came with questions or with situations or with statements he didn't like, it was very clear. He was also very clear in his comments.
So I think it's like keeping a little bit the authenticity also of the philosophy, of the methodology. But if there is one thing that you would have to take from this, from the legacy that he left us, in terms of the future, on how this will shape business of the future, what do you think is this one thing that will stay from Masaaki Imai's legacy?
I think this people focus. So especially nowadays when we have a lot of technology or tools or whatever you call it, we have a lot of data. We will get more data. We will have artificial intelligence. We had Industry 4.0. We have digitalization. At the end of the day, it's about the collaboration and the interaction between the people, the process, mm-hmm. and the tools and the machine. And no matter what you have, you always need to go back to the basics. Even if you have a lot of data, it's not enough to create great solutions. The problem might even be increasing because you have too much data, and what will you do? So this people focus in the Kaizen philosophy, respect for people, improving with the people at the shop floor, in the problem, solving the problem on site, creating sustainability in how the company is able to solve problems by themselves in the future. So the people focus, creating the capabilities, and making life for everyone, every day, everywhere, a little bit better. I think that's what will keep us, especially nowadays, on track and not go with the flow and not take the flavor of the month every time.
So, John, we are reaching the end of the interview, but there is always one question at the end that I want to throw to my interviewee, in this case to you. And I would like you to reflect also on your person and with Masaaki Imai. And in your opinion, what did Masaaki leave to us? What is the legacy that he's leaving also to us as Kaizen Institute, but also to the world? Let's try to summarize that in a final statement.
Summarize in a final statement, keep it very, very simple And I think that that's what will keep us nowadays and in the future. No matter what will happen, problems are still being problems. If you don't see the problem, you can never solve the problem. Cherish problems, I think that is, and the willingness and the ability to solve the problems, that is something I think which will keep humanity going forward and develop everyone everywhere in the world.
So thank you, John, for sharing these insights and also for sharing with us your journey with Masaaki and also the legacy that has left to you, but also to all of us, not just as Kaizen Institute, but also to the world. I would like now to just tell to our audience that we will keep doing these interviews with different people from the organization. So stay tuned for the next interviews and see you soon.